So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's class. Good to see you. I hope you're keeping safe where you are. I'm joining you today from Nairobi, and this training is brought to you by Africa 118 in partnership with Digital Skills for Africa. My name is Winnie, and my moderator for the session will be Brian Tucker. So today we're going to have an interesting session just to see how better can we build our brand and sell online, but with an emphasis on our website. So welcome aboard. Just talk to me. Where are you joining from? On the comment section, let me know where you are joining from. How is the weather there, if possible, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how you are feeling. Fantastic. So let's go right into it. So our agenda for today's class will be number one, just learning what are some of the ways we can establish our brand online. And then we are going to look at a bit of e-commerce and then further go into display websites. All right. So just to remind us, we have a free bootcamp available from Google. So if you are a small business and you think this is an opportunity for you to scale, then you have an opportunity to do that and learn how to do that with Google. My moderator will share with you the link in the comment section, and then you can be able to just click on it, enroll, and you'll be given further direction. So let me just get started by asking you a question. How do you currently market your business? Just let me know. I know there are different ways that we can be able to market our business. We have, for example, social media. You could be utilizing social media, for example. You could be using Google or even word of mouth. So just let me know for your own business, which method are you currently using to market your business online? So I'll be able to sample some of your comments even as we continue. So let me just have a look at the comment section, see who is here. All right, I can see my moderator is there ready just to um, echo a few areas that you want him to echo. All right, so let's proceed with our class. Let's proceed with our class, and we are going to look at our agenda number one, which is how do you establish your brand online. Before you even think of going online, you need to understand what are some of the benefits that your business potentially is going to get when you go online. And so we can begin by looking at a few of the statistics here and there. So generally, we have 1.79 billion people buying goods or services online. And that was last year, and it grew from 1.66 billion the previous year. And probably we can attribute this to COVID having and the lockdowns that came with COVID encouraged more people to buy goods online. So that is why it grew. And 97% of people learn more about a business online before they even walk to that business. So, for example, let's say you want to buy a new phone, so you are trying to even compare the prices between the different vendors online before you even decide you want to go to that particular vendor and see if you can get a discount or buy from them. So yes, 97% of people look for information online before they even make an actual visit to that brick and mortar business. And from our estimations, we estimate that by 2040, 95% of purchases will be done through e-commerce. So if you've not had a chance to have your business online, this is the time you are thinking to leverage on that trend that is growing even as we move towards 2040. So these are just a few of the advantages that you'll be able to get once you go online. And One of it is that you are able to sell your products and services online. So you could be having an e-commerce website, or alternatively, you could be selling on social media, whichever platform you're using. You have an opportunity to sell your products online when you go online. Additionally, you could be able to reach potential new customers. So if you have your business online, they're able to find information about your business online. Potentially, they did not know about your business in the first place, and now they're able to interact with your business courtesy of you being online. You also have an opportunity to advertise your business online. You could decide you want to use Google Ads, for example, you want to use social media marketing, for example. So very, very important. Being online gives you an opportunity to advertise your products online. You could also be able to just do a bit of researching your competition, see what your competitors are doing in terms of news stories, articles, and just a bit of traffic that they're getting towards their presence online. And then see benchmark, see if you need to upgrade something here or there, or what do you want to put out there that will make you unique. So those are just a few of the advantages that we get when we go online. So just at this point, one of these could potentially be your goal. So either you are going online to sell product, or you want to advertise, or you want to reach new clientele, or you want to research on potential competition. So even as we proceed, you could decide to do all of them or one or two. That is based on the kind of business you have. So how do you build an online presence? So we have different types of platforms that are available to you in terms of building your presence online. So you could decide to do the likes of Google Business Profile, for example. You could do a website, for example, and other media that I'm just going to discuss as we proceed with the class. So sorry about that. So it could be your website. You could decide you want to build your very own platform online, or you want to do social media where you will be marketing your business based on different demographics that you could find on that specific online platform, which in this case it could be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, or TikTok. Though right now TikTok is not doing active marketing, for example. It could be you want to register your business on an online directory. So an online directory basically is just an online list or categories where you can you put your contacts or links to your website, and then if somebody goes to that online directory, they are able to have a chance to look at your business. Or you could decide your presence online, you want to put it on an e-commerce platform. So this is just a platform that allows you to sell your products or your service online. So let us get started with the e-commerce a bit, because remember today's class we are trying to look at a website specifically. So in e-commerce, with the Africa as a reference area, we have 400 million internet users in Africa, and this is just second to China. So China has a bit higher numbers, and then Africa follows second at 400 million. So Africa generally makes up 10% of the global retail sales, which are valued at 75 billion. So as a business, you are thinking about how do you leverage on this, and Africa alone was able to generate 16.5 billion US dollars in 2017. So you can imagine in 2020 when we had lockdown and the only way you could access some of the goods was by online platforms, that definitely went up. So if you are thinking of going the e-commerce way, what are some of the platforms that you need to keep your eyes on, for example? So like I said, e-commerce is like the backbone of the online retail enterprise. So when with e-commerce, you are looking at the front end, that is the user, and the back end for you as a business, just to make sure that you have a bit of efficiency in that. So e-commerce helps to bridge between business and business, or business and consumers exchanges. So with some of examples for that is we have Amazon. So Amazon is a big online retailer, and for individuals and businesses. So you can sell your products, you can display your products there, and then you'll be able to a person can be able to look at it and buy. So Amazon is one of the largest e-commerce retailers, and one of the biggest brand in the world. Actually, one of the most richest person in the world comes from or is the CEO of Amazon. So Amazon is a real big deal when it comes to e-commerce. We have Konga, for example. Konga now is one of the leading Nigeria e-commerce platforms. So potentially, if you're looking to have a market in Nigeria and you want to list your products, then Konga would be your go-to site. Locally here in Kenya, we have Jumia. So Jumia allows you to just sell products. Literally, actually, you can actually find everything on Jumia, from cell phones, shoes, groceries, like literally anything that you'd want to buy online, you can be able to find on Jumia. We also have other platforms like Kilimall. Kilimall is basically just an online shopping mall here in Kenya. We have Gigi. Gigi is in Kenya and also equally in Nigeria. So if you're looking to market to Nigeria, for example, just giving you two examples. In this case, is Gigi, and uh, in this case, it's Gigi, and then we have Konga as well. So even before we narrow down our conversation to websites, here we also have a chance to list our businesses on online directory. So an online directory is a website that lists businesses based on the categories or the niche of that individual business. So for you to get started, if you are thinking to go to have your business listed on online directories, we have, for example, Yellow Pages of Africa. We also have Africa business pages. So if you are a business and you think you want to list your business on an online directory, remember, you can have a website but still have your business on an online directory as well. So how do you get started with that? Just go to the specific online directory you wish to list your business. And for the purposes of this class, I'm going to use the Africa Business Directory. So you go to Africa Business Directory and then you register your business details. So here is your business name, where are you located, what is your industry, what is your country and region that your business is based in. You input your contact, and then you put personal details, also just to for purposes of authenticating, or if they want to reach out to you as a business. All right. So good morning, Celine. I hope you're feeling well this fantastic morning. So thank you so much for being part of today's class. So even as we proceed with our class today, just a moment. Yes, I was talking about online directory. Yes, once you put that, you'll be able to get confirmation, and your business will be up in a business directory. So if somebody is making a search there, they can still be able to see your business. And also, you can also have your social media platform. Remember, all platforms work differently. or are shaped towards specific clientele. So even if you decide to go to the different platforms, just decide which one do you think is convenient to you as a business, and then embrace that. So at this point, if you do have a question, just post it in the comment section, and then I'll be able to sample some of that even as we proceed with the class. So now we have to e-commerce. So let's begin with e-commerce, and then we are going to go to display websites, and then we are going to close off the class for today. So if you are an e-commerce business, or you want to have your business on e-commerce, what is the number one thing you need to do is have a domain. So remember, a domain is an address of a website. So very important to make sure that the domain you pick represents your business as you'd want it to be represented. Yeah, so a domain name can be a combination of letters and numbers, or you can use just the various domain extensions. We have, for example, .com, we have .net, we have .org, .co.ke, and many others. So remember, every domain name is unique. So every domain name is unique, and you being courtesy of this program, by right now, I'm sure you have a domain. Remember, a domain are usually renewed every year. So very, very important to keep your eyes on that, to make sure that you renew your domain every year. Because if you do not, somebody can potentially buy that domain. So once it expires and potentially you are still slacking in renewing your domain will go down, and then somebody can buy it. And sometimes the people who are just criminals, so they'll buy a domain and then have it back online, and then redirect that traffic to let's say their website or something. Yes, so somebody will be coming to your brand, and then they are getting redirected to a different website. So very, very important to make sure that you always have your domain renewed before it goes down. And just a fun fact, generally computers use numbers. So usually they are zeros and ones. So just zeros and ones. So remember how difficult that would be for you to remember. So like, for example, you go to africa118.com. So now and it's just zero potential. Let's say 00110. And then the next domain is 10011. So how are you going to remember all that for every individual website? So that's why we have domain to just help us with that. And then secure a name. So depending on your host, remember we have different hosts that can host your website, and I'm going to come back to this because it's also an area that we need to keep our eyes on when it comes to performance of our website. Which kind of hosting have you chosen for your business? Then we come to building your site. So here, either you are using a website builder, for example, you're using a template, or you are programming your website with a code. Yeah, so there are different ways you can decide to build your website. So if you are using a website builder, we have different website builders. The example is Wix, for example. It could be your own blog, for example. Yeah, so there are different ways that you can build your site. And if you decide to use a template, for example, you could decide to use your template, for example. So the different templates you customize that to fit your business. Also very important to keep your eyes on the template, because let's say, if depending on the template that you have, that could also affect the performance of your website when it comes to speed. So very, very important that you're not just choosing a template because you like it and you think it's gonna look really nice on your website. Also keep your eyes in terms of performance of your site. And now to the interesting bit, content. So we have different content that you can decide to put on your website. And here it could be text, it could be images, It could be videos or any other media that you think your visitors would be interested in. So very, very important to keep your eyes on that as well. So now to the main agenda for our today's class, which in this case is how do we optimize our websites to make sure that they are having the best experience. Number one is beginning with content. So what kind of content are you putting on your website? It could be, is it relevant to your audience? So while you are uploading the content, or you're sharing that content with the developer so that they put it on your website, it's very, very important that you put the content from a perspective of the consumer. So once I'm coming online for your business, am I getting a chance to get my questions answered? If yes, then you have a good website. If no, then that is a problem. So I can see roads to us. Thank you so much for joining today's class. I hope you're well where you are, and hopefully I'll be able to use your business for the purposes of training in this class, just as we are proceeding to a bit of practicals here and there. So even as you're putting the content, I have, like I've said, prioritize your audience. Always have your audience in mind while you are putting that audience. Then we have content rather. Then we have research your competition. How is your competition unique? So take a little bit of time to research other websites that are similar to yours. Then now think, what makes you different? What makes roads different from any other business in that industry? And then leverage on that and then put that content on the website. Then also remember to do a bit of search engine optimization, very, very important. Just to get you started, you can begin by just going to I know last class I did share with you the link just to get you started on a bit of the basics for a search engine optimization. So search engine optimization is just how you increase your chances of ranking in search engines. So for example, I know some of you have come to us, but I'm not able, when I searched my website, I wasn't able to see it. It's because maybe it's not properly optimized. That's why you are not able to see it unless you search it with the specific name. Yeah, so you need to optimize your website to increase your ranking chances. So how do you begin with that? Number one is by having Google Search Console. So make sure that is a tool from Google that that is a tool from Google that can help you with basic search engine optimization. So once you have your URL, just input it in the Google Search Console, and then so Google Search Console will be able to be giving you reports. Number one, of how your website is ranking. Number two, which sites or pages are problematic and how are they affecting your ranking. And then you can be able potentially to just go and correct that pages. And let's say you have broken links on your website, the Google Search Console tool will be able to help you with that. So if you have a website, it's very important to make sure that you have your search, your Google Search Console linked to your website. All right. So that's one way. And then we also have Google Analytics. So Google Analytics will also be able to help you to also know how your website is performing, like which pages are people coming to the most, which pages are not getting any traffic, and where is even that traffic coming from. Is it coming from your social media sites? Is it coming from your advertisements on Google, or where is that traffic exactly coming from? And once they come to your website, what exactly are they doing on your website? So very, very important to keep your eyes on what exactly are they doing once they reach your website. All right. Thank you so much. I have seen your comment, Aaron. I'm sorry about that. The name of the trainer is Winnie. Yes, you can be able to also see it on the screen. It's on your right hand of the screen, the name of the trainer. So thank you so much for that, Aaron. So even as we narrow down to uh, website optimization. So why should we optimize our websites? Number one is just to be able to make sure that our websites are doing exactly what they should be doing, which is in this case is bringing us clientele or just giving you the brand awareness that you need for your business. Yes, so very, very important. So what are some of the ways you can do that? Is by ensuring that the user experience is good. So what is the user experience? So imagine sometimes you go to a website and then it takes forever to load. So you try that base, let's say once, twice. The next time you don't want to come to that website because it doesn't load. Or yeah, so those could be some of the things. Or sometimes you go to our website and then you go to this page and this page has really a bad experience, or even the content that has been put there, the structure that is there, you do not like it whatsoever. So you do not even want to interact with that business further just because of how the user experience has been. So you need to make sure that your speed for your website is really good. It doesn't discourage or make sure that your clients that are coming to your website to drop off. The ideal speed is 2 seconds. Yeah, that is the like peak. That's the ideal page speed for every website page is 2 seconds. But still, if you are around there, then you are not so bad. Yes, that is the maximum fastest website can be able to load. Can be able to learn. And then we have visitor retention, very, very important. Why should we optimize our sites? Just to encourage visitor retention. So the goal is not just to capture them to come to their website. You want them to come today, to come tomorrow, to be able to get answers. If they were looking for a phone, are they able to get that phone they were looking for? Are they able to get the specs? If they were looking to look at the specs of that phone before they buy it, are they able to get that information? If they are looking for price of that product, is it there? Yes. So, and also you have that information, yes, but now how is your website speed? So if your website speed is really good, then they're able to come today. Next time, let's say they make a referral or they just want to check out which other latest version of that product you have brought in, they can be able to come. So very, very important. And lastly, conversions. We develop our websites that we may be able at the end of the day to make conversions. So if your website has a good experience, good user experience, it loads optimally, if not faster, then you're able to get conversions because number one, if I need information, I can be able to get it faster on your website. If I need that product, I can be able to see it on your website. So it's fantastic to have the most relevant content on your site, the most appealing images on your site, and just have everything in order on your website. But if your speed is not really good, then your website is not doing you justice. And lastly, brand perception is very, very important. So if people come to your website and every time is taking longer to load, the pictures are not well arranged, or you don't have high quality pictures, for example, your brand perception will go down. You may have the most excellent product and it's doing whatever it should be doing in terms of usage, but if the brand perception of your business is not really good, then um, that will really, really reduce even the conversions that you're able to get. And just to give us an example, yeah, Always. So Always is from it's a big brand. It's actually an international brand. And just to help you to know why brand perception is very, very important. So there was just this time somebody so you see, this is a global brand. So Always Product is a global brand. You can find it all the way even to the UK. So there was this Kenyan that came from, I'm not sure, I don't remember the country very well, but then he came to Kenya and somehow he went and bought the Always product and he didn't like the quality of it. So he went online and he gave a comment that the products they are getting from the country she came from and the ones in comparison to the ones we have locally here in Kenya, they were not at par in terms of quality, and it really brought a lot of uproar. In fact, I always had to come out with massive campaigns just to make sure that they retain back the brand perception that they had. So just that one comment made it really gave the marketing team a run for their money. So brand perception is very important. You may have the best product, but if the brand perception out there is not really good, you may not be able to get the conversions. And one of some of the ways to make sure that your brand perception is good is making sure that your website is doing exactly what it should be doing. Another important thing is the mobile experience. Yes, and I'm going to just um, show you a bit of that with an example. So the mobile experience, remember smartphones are really just taking over. And right now, if you have done advertisement, especially on Google Ads, you'll be able to note that most of the traffic that is coming through is coming from mobile and just a bit of it on desktop. So very important to make sure that your website, even if it has the best appeal when it comes to desktop, it also has the same appeal when it comes to mobile because more people are browsing online. And just to give you a bit of that, have you ever gone to a website and you're browsing with your phone? It doesn't, like, you can't even see the whole website from your phone. That is one thing. So you have to keep pushing your phone here and try to scroll this side to be able to see the whole information. That is a terrible mobile experience. So you want to make sure that your website, as much as it's looking fantastic, or when it comes to desktop, it's also looking fantastic when it comes to the mobile phone. Because if 80% of clientele are browsing with their mobiles and they're getting a bad experience, they'll not interact with your business, because that will mean you have to send them either to their computer if they do have their computer with them, or alternatively they'll have to go to let's say a cyber cafe just to browse your website. So yeah, very important. So now, so practically, how do we help our websites? Number one is images. So images affect speed of a website. So if your images are larger, like I said, it's fantastic to have your images on your website, but the more images you have and the larger images you have, they affect the speed of your website. So now, let's say, for example, you are an e-commerce site. So how do you make sure that, yes, you are uploading the products you want to upload, but at the same time, your users are getting a good experience? You can resize your image. So try to resize your images to different dimensions before uploading them. Or alternatively, you can compress them. So compress your images. So we have tools online that can help you to compress your images. So try compressing your images, but make sure that you don't compress your images past the 75% of the original image. So once you supersede the 75%, that means your images begins to start to get distorted. So compress them, yes, but make sure you don't supersede the 75% of the original image. So yes, so try to compress your images so that you are not um, overloading your website. That's one thing you can do to improve your experience. All right, so now I just want us to do a bit of an exercise here on our website. And then to just see exactly what I am talking about. All right. So I just want us to check our speed of our website. So kindly a volunteer share with me the URL of your website. I want to use that for the purposes of this class. So, and I want to do a demo with the Google Page Insight. So these are just some of the tools that can help you know the performance of your website. So if you've been wondering, how will I measure how good or how bad my website is performing, we have the likes of Google Page Insight. So let me just do a demo with that. Let me do a demo with that just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I'll stop sharing my screen, then reshare a different screen for you to just have an experience of that. So if you want to check how well your website is performing, then you go to Google Page Insights. So Google Page Insights, then you input the URL. So let me get the URL. Let's see who has shared with us. I see Kitem Company Limited. So let me try to find your URL. Kitem Company Limited. I'm not able. Do you have a website? I'm not able to see it. Let me see. I saw roads. Roads. What is your business? Let's see what your business is. Roads tours. So let me try to get uh, that. Roads tours. Roads tours. Do you have what is your website URL? I'm not sure I'm able to see it because there are number of roads. So just share with me your specific URL. But anyway, I will use one of our businesses that we have. Okay. All right. So now I have a URL of our website that I'm going to test run using this tool. So here you put your link of your website and then you analyze. Yes. So just give it a bit of seconds and you'll be able to generate data for that website. Yes, so it's you can see here you're able to discover what your real users are experiencing, and then you're able to diagnose. Yes, there we go. So you can see on a mobile experience. So this is how the mobile experience for this site looks like. So we're going to compare that vis-a-vis the desktop experience. So you can see here we have a bit of data. So any data that is red, it means that is bad, really bad. Any data that is orange, so orange has a score of between 50 and 89. And then anything that is green, that is really good. So you can see here on this website, you can see when it comes to the time it takes for a text or image to be painted on the screen, it takes 2.6 seconds. And you can see that is um, average but not really good. Yeah, so that is average. You can be able to see when it comes to the speed it takes for the whole page to be populated is 6.3 seconds, and that is a lot of time. So we need to work on that. And then you can see here, this one is the time it takes for the largest image or the largest text to fill the page. It takes 9.6 seconds. So that is really bad. You can see that is red. So that means it needs a lot of work. But you can see here the time it takes for the first page, the first content or page to be populated, and also the time it takes to interact. You can be able to see it's green, it's 80 milliseconds, so that is really, really good. Remember, we are working with at least 2 seconds at most. Yes, also here you can be able to see the time it takes for a page to be fully interactive. You can see here it's 4.9 seconds, but we need to work on that. So you can see this is the mobile experience, and the average score is 63%. Then let's look at the desktop experience. You can be able to see the desktop experience here. You can see when it comes to the desktop, this website is doing really well. You can see with the time it takes even for the text and page is 0.8 seconds. So anything that is below 2 seconds is really good. And you can see here, even the speed index is 1.9, 1.9. Yes, that's average. Then you can be able to see the total blocking time is actually 0 milliseconds. That means this website is doing very well. So just a bit of issues here, and this website would be in excellent. So you can see desktop, they have an 88%, but when it comes to a mobile, they're doing a 63. So what are some of the things that could be making this website to be at mobile or 63? So yes, it could be mobile friendly, yes, but now maybe the sizes are really huge. That is why they are affecting the performance of the website. So what should this SME do? Number one, it could try to resize um, the images on the website. A second thing, he could attempt to also just apart from resizing, just change also the dimensions of that website or the format. You could decide to put them in JPEG or GIF, for example. So that will also help. And then alternatively, he could also decide to just compress the sizes of the photos. You can see here it's taking 9.6 seconds to load the largest image in his website. So that is one thing he could decide to work on. So those are just a few things that you can do, for example, when it comes to your image sizes on your website, just to make sure that your website is working as it should. All right, so let's try. You can see we have Home Shop Enterprises Limited. So let's try his website and see how it's performing. So let me just get URL for his website. Just a moment, and then we can also compare his website performance to just see how that looks like. So I have his URL. Okay, so let's troubleshoot his website and see. Let's see what data it's going to give us. Yes, so even as we wait for it, remember, like I said, content is very, very important. Make sure your content is relevant. And then once and some of the ways you can just be able to see or improve your website performance is doing a test we call an A/B testing. So an A/B testing is you have, let's say, homepage. You have one version of homepage and then have a different version. So have two different versions of homepage. Once you have the two different versions, have one version on the website, let's say for a month, and then hopefully you have installed Google Analytics so that you can be able to see how much traffic version A is bringing, and then the other month have version B of that page on the website. And then after 2 months you have data for page 1 and data for version 2, and then compare. Once you compare that, then see which version is bringing in more traffic and then go with that. So remember, optimization of your website is always an ongoing process, and SEO on its own, we cannot even be able to do it in one single class. So when it comes to this website, on it's on average. So remember, I said 0 to 49 is really bad. And then 50 to 89 is average performance, but excellent performance is at 90. So you can see it takes you can be able to see, let me see. So for Home Shop Enterprises, it takes 3 seconds for the first text to be painted. So once I click on that website, it means before I see the first content, it takes 3 seconds. That's really, really a long time. It should be less than that. We can be able to see it takes 11 seconds for me to see the largest image on that website. So that is a long time. But you can see the total blocking time, he's doing really, really well. And also, of course, once this is huge, the time it takes to load the largest picture on his website, generally it will affect the time it takes to interact, because if it's taking longer to load a picture, it will take longer for somebody to be able to interact with that. So like I said, for him, potentially he could begin by relooking at all the pictures he has on his website, because you can see they're really taking a lot of time to load or fill out the page. Yes, so that is on mobile. So let's compare that with desktop. You can see on desktop he's at 78%. You can see when it comes to desktop, he's doing really well. The text are loading faster. You can see here it's at 0.7 seconds. But now also the largest picture is taking 2.5 seconds to load when it's on desktop. So he really, really needs to work on the pictures he has on the websites, and he could decide either number one is to resize them, use a different format, or alternatively compress them. But make sure that even as you're compressing, you maintain the quality of that photo by making sure it does not exceed 75% of the original size of the photo. So you compress it up to a maximum of 75%. Yes, so we can see the total blocking time is really good. Time it takes 0.7 seconds to interact with his website while or you are on desktop. But if you compare with mobile, it takes 10 seconds to interact with that website on mobile, but on desktop it takes 0.7 seconds. So Home Shop Enterprises, you have a bit of work when it comes to the pictures that you have, because you can see when it comes to content, the text, they're loading faster, because anywhere we have text here, like first, the FCP, the text are really loading fast, but the images, they're loading slower. All right. So that is just a bit of that as well. Yes. So thank you so much for that. So just to help us through, yes, it's very, very important that we keep our eyes on that. So what are some of, I've just shared with you Google page, Page Speed Insights. That's one tool that you can definitely use just to test your performance of your website. So we have different ways to also just help our website. And one such tool also is the Keyword Planner. So you are looking to improve the performance of your website by having the right keywords. And one such tool to help you is the Google Keywords Planner. So you go to the Google Keywords Planner and then you do research on the keywords that you potentially could use in your content, so that if somebody is coming online and they're looking for that content, they're able to get it. That is also one tool you could use. We also have another tool that you could use just to help your website is EWWW Image Optimizer. So this one is a compression image. So let's say if you've been wondering now, which tool can I use to compress my images? Let me just type that out on the comment section for you. So this one will help you in optimizing the images you have on your website. So it's an image optimizer. So you'll just have your images, and then once you put in your images, it will be able to optimize your images and help speed up your website. So that's one thing that we could look at when it comes to optimizing our websites and making sure that they are working as they should. So very, very important to make sure that you always audit your site. One of the ways to audit your site is by having the tools that can help you audit the site. So number one, have your Google Analytics in place. I still insist, have Google Analytics in place, and also have your Google Search Console in place. That will give you how your website is performing, and then audit your site by using Google tools such as Google Page Insights, just to now see now the vitals of your website. How are they performing on mobile, vis-a-vis on desktop? And another important thing, just to make sure why it's important to have Google Analytics is, for example, so let's say you are doing social media campaign, you are doing Google Ads campaign. How do you know social media is working and Google Ads is not working, or Google Ads is working and social media is not working for you? Because if you have that tool, you'll be able to see where your traffic is coming from. If your traffic is coming from your Google Ads, you will now decide and say, oh, I think Google Ads is working for me. So Google Ads is bringing in 70% of the business and social media is bringing me 30% of the business. So what should I do? Let me, once I have my marketing budget, I will divide 70% to go towards Google Ads and 30% to go towards social media. But if you are just working from guesswork, or let's say somebody called you and you asked them and they told you, I got business from your social media, and then you assumed, okay, social media is working, and potentially there are people who have actually been coming to you from your Google Ads advertisement, but maybe you didn't ask them that. So very, very important. So that will also help you to know how do you put, or how do you do your marketing, and which tools are working for you. Like another additionally is, for example, you'll be able to know where your traffic is coming from. So if you see most of your traffic is coming from Nairobi, the next time you're doing your marketing, you could decide, oh, I think Nairobi, I want to do marketing in Nairobi, conversion based marketing in Nairobi. But I have realized the other cities, they're not bringing in as much traffic. So in my campaign, I want to reach out to people outside Nairobi. So what do? I will not put Nairobi as a city to reach, just and then do a brand awareness campaign to reach out to those other people outside Nairobi. But if you do not have these auditing tools, how will you even decide which strategies are working for you and which ones are not working? Or how do you divide your budget based on the tools or sites? Let me say, based on the sites that you have. All right, yes. And then another thing to keep our eyes on when it comes to our website is hosting. Which kind of hosting do you currently have as a business? We have different types of hosting. We have shared hosting, we have a virtual private server hosting, and then we have a dedicated server. So shared hosting is usually the most cost effective. It's usually very cheap to have shared hosting because you are co-sharing that space, that RAM with another business. But now the challenge that comes in when it comes to shared hosting is, since that hosting is splitting resources within the different businesses or sites that are there, your website uh, performance will go lower. So very, very important to make sure that even while you are doing shared hosting, try to check, is it affecting your website performance? If it is, then move to virtual private server. Virtual private server is usually very fast when it comes to speeds and hosting. Yes, so it's good to have shared hosting. Yes, it's cheaper for you, but then at what expense when it comes to your performance of your site? Why buy cheaper hosting, and then when it comes to people coming to your website, they get a bad experience. So try to find a balance within that. But if you are a mega business, you can decide to have your own dedicated server. If you are a big business that has a lot of traffic, yeah, you can decide to have your own dedicated server. Yes, so the people who are sharing hosting, I'm very sure today you're going to analyze and see if it has been affecting how your website has been performing. All right. Like I said, optimize your images, and then reduce your redirects. So if you have your website and you have so many redirects on it, it will reduce the performance of that website. So don't have so many redirects on your website. It will lower the speed of your website. All right. And then like I said, also make mobile priority. Yeah, very important. It's good to have a good experience on desktop, but make sure that that website on mobile, it's actually, I would have wished, for example, you can see here on home shop, when it comes, he's at 79 on website, but he is at 50 on mobile. I would have wished it would be the other way around because that would means he's doing so well on mobile than on desktop. Yeah, but of course, there's room for improvement and room for learning. All right. Yes. So thank you so much. Let me see if we have any questions before I transition further to the class. And like, I cannot overemphasize content. The kind of content you put on your website, make sure is really well optimized in terms of the keywords are right, in terms of it answers the questions that your clients or potential clients are coming to look for in your website. All right, so let me see any person with a question when it comes to our website. Let me just check the comment section, and then I can be able to just um, respond to them even as they come. Like generally, speed optimization will help you to just have a good average time on a page, reduce your bounce rate. So bounce rate is usually people come to your site and then they leave. Have you ever, like, for example, found yourself on a site that you did not want to get yourself to, and then you left that site? So that is a bounce rate. So if your website has a lot of bounce rate, you need to rethink. How will you know it has bounce rate? If you have Google Analytics tool, because that is the only one will be able to tell you if your website has a lot of bounce rate that you need to address. So it's not the end of the journey to have your website published online and then you sit and wait for business to come. No, you need to optimize it. You need to work on it so that it's doing exactly why you paid that money for it to be online in the first place. So, like, for example, reducing bounce rates, making sure that the average time on page is, if you can get it to 2 seconds, the better. But if you are at least 3 seconds, 4 seconds there, then that's good. And lastly, um, let me see if you have any questions so far. How do you know the kind of hosting your website has? You always know the kind of hosting your website has. Once, like, who you can always talk to your host and they'll be able to tell you which kind of hosting you have. For example, if you are using shared hosting, you can't move your website to another service provider because it's shared. Yes, but I know for you, for the purposes of this class, any website that we have made here, we do not do shared hosting. So if you are concerned about that, then you have your answer. We use the VPS bit of hosting. Yeah, but there are usually other service providers that will offer you shared hosting. So Next time, potentially, if you have a website, let's say Africa, outside this institution, you can be able to ask them. So don't just like, for example, pick a quotation. Somebody is telling you, "I'll be hosting you at this match," and this person is telling you, "I'll be hosting." Ask them, which kind of hosting are you offering me as a business? All right, so thank you so much for that. All right, just to remind us, a quick one, that we are online, we are social. So if you want to follow us on our respective social media pages, you can be able to do that. Let me just display that so that all of us are able to see that. All right, just a moment. Okay, there you go. Yes, we have the free bootcamp from Google. So if you want to participate, there's a chance for you to participate. And yes, if you want to learn more, go to Google, learndigital.withgoogle.com/digital skills or courses. And then, like I said, we are social. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, we are at Digital Skills for Africa. On Twitter, we are at Digital Skills AF. And on Instagram, we are at Digital Skills AF as well. So very, very important to follow these pages, because they put their bit of tips here and there, or potentially how Google is supporting SMEs in Africa. So you can just follow up on this on their pages, see what programs Google has for SMEs in Africa, and then participate in the respective SMEs. Sometimes they have grants, sometimes they have training, sometimes there's different ways that Google is supporting SMEs. So if you want to be knowing, or be the first one to know, always follow through the social media pages. So thank you so much. Has been my pleasure to host you in today's class. I can be able to see my moderator has shared that with you. My name is Winnie, and if you have any further questions or comments, just reach out to your DMS and you'll be able to address them. All right, so have a fantastic Friday. Keep safe, and COVID is still here, so wear your mask if you can, so that we need you to be alive for your business to grow. So thank you so much, and have a lovely day. My moderator has been Brian Tucker.